I remember the first time it happened. Lying there on a massage table, half naked beneath a heavy cream sheet. The air was thick with lavender and sandalwood, the kind of scent that clings to your skin long after you've left. Outside, rain whispered against the windowpane, not just falling, but tapping like a warning I didn't yet understand. And then, his hands. His name was Adrian. 26. Half my age. A stranger who should have been nothing more than a professional service. But he wasn't. From the first moment he touched me, I felt it. The stir of something I thought I had buried years ago. A longing I had convinced myself no longer existed. At first, it was careful. His strokes measured, practiced, professional. Across my shoulders, down the length of my spine. Nothing reckless. Nothing out of line. Yet beneath that precision, there was something else. An intensity. A quiet electricity alive in his fingertips. When his hands paused just below my waist, I didn't flinch in fear. I flinched in hunger. My body betrayed me, leaning into his touch when I should have pulled away. Then his breath, warm and close to my ear. "May I?" he whispered. I didn't answer with words. I simply shifted my hips. A silent surrender. A permission that changed everything. Adrian folded the sheet back slowly, with a reverence that made me ache. And when his lips brushed the inside of my thigh, I gasped. Not because it was vulgar, but because it felt like worship. And when his mouth finally found me, I forgot where I was. I forgot who I was. For the first time in years, I felt alive. But what haunts me most is not the way he touched me. It was what he whispered after. "You don't look like you need fixing. You look like you need to be held." And then he was gone. Just like that. The next morning, I found it. A message written faintly across my bathroom mirror, as though the steam itself had carried his words. "I see the ache behind your smile. Don't hide from me next time." I should have been unsettled. Instead, I read it again and again. Like it was a promise. Like it was salvation. Days passed. I cancelled my next appointment. I told myself I needed space. But the truth was simpler. I was terrified. Terrified of needing him again. Terrified of what he had awoken in me. But fate has its own games. I saw him again. At a cafe, sunlight spilling across the wooden floor, his eyes locking with mine. And in his gaze, there was that same unfinished sentence. Later, I found a message. No pressure. Just firewood, jazz, and quiet, if you need it. I should have said no. But instead, I brought wine. And when I walked into his studio that evening, I didn't just step into his space. I stepped into his past. Between the soft hum of jazz records and the clink of our glasses, Adrian told me his story. About losing his parents in Boston. About being raised by an aunt who gave him a roof, but never warmth. He spoke of loneliness like it was an old friend. And I told him my truth. That I had been divorced for 6 years. That I had lived untouched, unseen, forgotten in ways a woman should never be. I confessed my doubt, that my body no longer deserved wonder. When his lips brushed the inside of my wrist, I trembled. Not from fear, but because for the first time I felt safe. Safe, until I found the second note. This time, it was sharper. If this was wrong, why did your body ask me to stay? I didn't know what Adrian wanted from me. But I couldn't stay away. And then came Sophia, my ex-husband's daughter. She appeared at my door one afternoon, eyes wide with a truth she could barely contain. "Maria," she said softly, "I thought you should know. My dad, he was cheating long before the divorce. My mom wasn't the only one. There were others." Her words shattered something inside me. I thought I had already buried that betrayal. But hearing it like that, raw and undeniable, stripped me bare. That night, when Adrian came, I asked him the question that had been burning in me. "Why are you really here?" He hesitated. His storm-gray eyes flickered. Then he said the words that broke me. "My mother was the woman your husband had an affair with. I grew up watching her cry your name." The air in the room shifted. My blood ran cold. The man who had touched me like salvation was bound to me by betrayal. I should have told him to leave. I did tell him. But when he turned to walk away, my hand caught his wrist. And in that moment, anger twisted into hunger. We didn't kiss softly. We consumed each other. Our mouths collided with need, our hands grasping, desperate. His touch was punishment and prayer, all at once. And when we fell into bed, it was not love, it was fire. A storm. A breaking open of everything we thought we had hidden. But afterward, in the silence that followed, Adrian's voice trembled. I didn't stay for revenge. I stayed because when I touched you, you breathed like you wanted to live again. The next morning, there was another note on my mirror. Beneath the others. Sometimes love doesn't heal you. It shows you where the wounds still are. And I knew then, Adrian hadn't just touched my body. He had touched the one place I swore no one would ever reach again. My past. And now, I don't know if I can survive him. So tell me, would you have pushed him away? Or would you have surrendered, even knowing the risk? Let me know in the comments. And if this story pulled you under, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more intimate stories from Moonlight and Roses.